Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Midweek Midday Talk Show with Auntie Tima. It's a new month. Happy November. I pray that God will continue to be with each and every one, our children, our families, our businesses, our ministries. I mean, the hand of God continually rest upon us all. Yes, if you're joining me on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, welcome here. And don't worry, today we're going to have a blast talking about this very important issue of saying no. If you're here, I want you to make a comment. I want you to say Happy New Month. And I want you to also share how you feel. Are you excited? Are you anxious? I mean, for some people, they got into November and they were like, what? The year's ending already. I know, right? Don't worry, we still have about 61 days. That's a long time to achieve those goals and to carry out those plans that you set in January. Yes, today, we're going to be talking about something that I can never stop talking about, the concept of saying no, the courage to say no. How do we build this in our teenagers? The reason why this is important is because, look, no matter how well you train your teenager, no matter how well you train your child, they are going to struggle with this issue of no, because they're still forming, okay? They're still developing. They're still going to be considering things like, oh, what would they say about me? Oh, what did they think about me? It's normal. When I hear parents say things like, can't you just say no? And will they kill you? I know, right? I make the same statement as well. In fact, I'm going to be making the same statement again when it comes to the practicability, the practicality and the ability to actually say that, mm-mm, I won't, I don't, I can't. It becomes really difficult. And the reason also is that teens are still building the muscle called willpower. Willpower is your ability to decide to do something and actually do it. Yeah, that's willpower. So when as our teenagers and children are growing, this muscle must be built, must be stretched, and it is stretched and grown. It grows through practice. It's like the muscles on your hands. Those of us that go to gym, not those that paid for gym and did not go. I'm talking about those that really, really go. When you start off, you know, little by little, and then you begin to master it, and then your muscles actually start going. Oh, I can see a first timer, Wobi Wura. Thank you so much for joining us live on YouTube. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to always invite your friends and loved ones, especially those who have teens and preteens. Do not wait until when there is a problem. Do not wait until when a consequence is already knocking on their door. And then you say, oh, there's one on the team, there's one on the team I was talking about teenagers. What did she say again we should do? You'll be late. You'll be late. And there's always a price to pay for being late. You lose. When you are late, you lose. Collapse of years. Collapse of years does not is not a principle that applies in all things. It's a prayer that God always answers, but it does not apply in all things. There is a limit. As long as you're on earth, there's a limit to which the prayer collapsing of years can work for you. And I said that to say that you need to begin to help your teenagers. Don't assume that they will just know how to say no and they'll just go saying no all around the place. Remember that they have a real deep need to be right in the eyes of their friends. They have a deep need to align with the majority. They have a deep need to stay in the midst. They don't want to be casted out. You say things like, better for you to be alone, better for you to have the wrong friends, better for you to be, I know, right? Yeah, very easy to say, but never easy to do. Now, how can we help our children? Because if you don't come from a place of empathy, if you don't empathize, they cannot internalize what it is we're going to do. That's the first thing I want you to understand. You must empathize for them to internalize this concept of saying no. At the girls' hall, I have taught those girls, right? I've taught my girls to do so many things that people consider impossible by this secret of empathy. Honestly, when you hear them speak, you will hear things like, oh, Auntie Tima just understands. Oh, Auntie Tima is always there for us. She's always, I don't live in all their countries. Nope. I have so many girls in the UK. I have girls in the US. I have girls in Canada. I even have girls in the Middle East. But when you hear them talk, they talk about me as if I live there with them. And one of them even said, Adima cares for us. I'm like, oh, cares. I know. For a teenager, when you don't say I care for you, I love you, I care for you with your lips or with your words. You say it with your ability to empathize. I think I shared that in my very first book, How to Get Your Taste to Open Up to You. What care means to a teenager is empathy. If you can come from a place of empathy, and understanding that I know what you're struggling with. I know how it feels to be the odd one out. I know how it feels to want to say yes or having to say yes. I know. Once you get it, once you start that way, they will open up. They will relax. They are more willing to cooperate, to collaborate. When I hear people say, oh, my daughter, I'm not sure if my daughter will buy this idea, I just be like, connect her to me first. Can I speak with her? In less than 10 minutes, I'm on her side. She's on my side as well. Why? The secret of empathy. Very, very important for us. This is the foundation for this building we want to build. This word like that. Remember, we're talking about how can you build your team's courage to say no. If no must be said, then courage must be built. If no must be said, if no must be meant, because you can say no and not mean no. If no must be said, if no must be meant, then courage must be built. The teenager needs to understand that it's not going to be easy. This is why I said the foundation for building courage is empathy, empathizing with your teenagers. They need to understand that, look, it's not going to be easy, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it regardless. Now, what's the first building block that we need for this building, this courage that we are building? The first thing is get your teenagers to first build themselves. You can't just get up one day and start saying no. Please, parents, let's be sincere. Adults, let's be sincere. I know when I built this courage, even I'm still building it. I was a full-blown adult without this courage. Even when I said no, even when I used to say no, I didn't say no boldly and confidently. I didn't have the courage to. Sometimes I had to say no through somebody else. Sometimes I had to say no through a non-verbal, way. Sometimes I had to write it. Sometimes I had to dodge from it for you to know that I meant to say no. So it takes a whole lot, which is why you must build your teenagers. And for me, immediately I went on the journey of self development. It became easier. In self development, you have self confidence. In self development, you have knowledge. In self development, you have self discovery. When we talk about these things, people feel like, oh, we're emphasizing it. No, we're not. A lot of things, a lot of outcomes, results, actions, outputs are going to be determined by this simple skill of self development with ingredients like self confidence. How do you build refusal skill? Refusal skill is a life skill. It comes from developing yourself. Your child needs to first be aware of who they are. Do you know that it's not enough to say you're a star, you're beautiful, you're bold, you're courageous? Those are all affirmations. They are good, but they are insufficient. You need to intentionally make your children understand their uniqueness, understand their their strength, understand their gift, their talent. What is it that they own, that they have, not what they wish to have? Because a lot of times we're talking to our children in the bid to, you know, um, help them to be self-aware, we start comparing them. That's not what we're talking about. No, we're saying that our children, our teenagers especially, need to constantly be on a journey of self-awareness and development. Now, this is it. Many times teenagers they become self-aware that, oh, I'm good at doing this, I'm good at doing that. Oh, I have a problem with this, I have a weakness with this, this is a gap in this area and all that. Then it stops there. Oh, I know it. What next? What next? Why don't you help these children take responsibility for developing themselves? What would your child gain if they know themselves in their raw state and do nothing about it? Do you know that this is why teenagers make poor choices? Remember my book, Maintain Your Why. If you haven't read this book and your teenagers haven't read it as well, then you're at a loss. By the way, these are my other books. This is Spiritual Intelligence. This is for purity. This is for spirituality. This is for sex education. And this is for behavior, character development. Now, these books are all self-development books. So when it comes to self-development for children and teens, call and Tina. I believe that self-development is the secret to success, enduring success. It's not good schools, it's not good lesson teachers, it's not good good friends alone. I mean, it's not all those are a part of it. It's not even where you live. Oh, I live in this nation. Oh, I live in this kind of house. That's not the key to success for a child. It's self-development. How is this child moving from their raw state that they came to a refined version of themselves? The more your teenagers are taking responsibility for developing themselves, it's not you telling them, oh, come to class, oh, you go and read this book, oh, do this, do this. It's more than that. It's about them saying, you know what? I want to evolve. I want to become. This is what I do with the girls at the Girls Home. Over the weekend we had our book review and presentation, and I was shocked. The truth is sometimes you don't even know the impact of what you are doing. Usually, the feedback I get from the parents of the girls in the girls' home is like, my daughter does not like reading. My daughter does not want to read. My daughter does not even want to be here. My daughter, I was shocked. These girls were bringing insight. These girls were delivering with so much enthusiasm. I was so proud. This is the 10th month. They are looking back and they're saying, you know what, I have grown. And by the way, I had a case to settle. A mother said, my daughter has not improved in any way since she joined the girls' home. The girl was so upset. The girl was so upset. She said, Mommy, how can you say so? I know I have improved. And I'm like, Mommy, oh, is it your improvement? Is it your improvement? The girl said, her mom was not there when she was talking to me. The girl said, Auntie Tima, I know. As in, she was so sure. She said, I know I have improved. I have improved in this area. I have improved in that area. This is the, I mean, for me, that was the highest level of self-awareness. When you can analyze your growth and your development by yourself. By the time I was reviewing with the mom was embarrassed. So you see that these teenagers are not too young to take ownership of their growth, of the process. They are not too young. You are looking at them as, if I don't tell her, she will not do it. If you're continually saying that, then you have not done a good job as a parent. Yes, it's actually a setback on your part. That your child cannot analyze. She's 14. She's 13, 16. She cannot say where she was, where she is, and where she's going to. You have not done a good job. So please let them own up. Let them take responsibility for their self-development. Your job is to invest, bring the money. Yes, pay for the sessions. Your job is to bring the resources, the materials, and then the support. That's your job. The remaining part, leave it to me, leave it to them. We are together. In fact, I praised them. I was so proud of them because I'm usually always dragging them at the girls. They have nicknamed me Queen of Dragging. I'm okay, I love it. My job is to drag. Your job is to align. We don't have time. Before you know what is happening, these girls are 20. They are 30. We now have a problem on our hands and we're like, well, I don't know why I missed it. That's why you missed it. You missed it by not getting a mentor, a coach to help you solidify everything, test everything that you have done from age 0 to 6, 8, 10. You've missed it. Now, what's the second building block? The second building block is considering getting your teenagers to always think, to always consider, to always weigh the pros, the cons, the benefits, the consequences, the ability to think through. It's a big deal. Many teenagers don't think. Actually, many teenagers can't think. Reason is that part of the brain responsible for reasoning, critical thinking, analyzing is not yet fully formed, which again is why they need aid, which again is why they need help. Have you ever heard the phrase borrow sense? That phrase is usually used for young people. Can't you borrow sense? Why? If your own is not fully developed, you can borrow somebody's own. You can borrow your mentor's own. You can borrow your parents' own. You can borrow your friend's own. You can even borrow your siblings' own. You can borrow an author's own. If you can't think through on your own, then borrow somebody else's own. It's allowed to borrow. Because sometimes the consequences of not saying no are long lasting. Sometimes the consequences of not saying no are lifetime. Lifetime. I mean, you face the consequences for life. Unfortunately, you're sorry. I know you regret your actions. How be it? You still get to face the long time consequences. This is why raising an independent thinker is not an option. Teach your children to think. They hate thinking. You ask a teenager a question, mentally lazy. But if you want to entertain them, boom, they jump at it. So, even for those of us coaching, we're constantly finding ways to infuse learning into fun and entertainment. We're infusing thinking. We're infusing independence, mental toughness. We're infusing it into entertainment. If not, your Gen Z will look at you like this and say, duh, somewhere in their minds. I need you to stop making decisions, every decision you make for your teenagers, especially personal decisions. Somebody said to me, I need to ask my daughter whether she wants to join the girls' club. Of course, she's going to say no. There is no event we do for teenagers that they want to come. None. They never want to come. Whereas by the time they come, they never want to leave. Can't you notice? Can't you observe? Can't you see? They don't have the ability to critically analyze what they need. They don't. You need to help them. How can you ask your teenager, do you want to eat? Do you want to sleep? Do you want to go to school? Do you want to go for this training? Do you want to join the girls' club? Do you want to attend the emotions training class? You're asking them, of course, the answer is no. Do you want to wake up? No, they don't want to wake up. They don't. So you need to constantly be on your toes, getting them to see reason. That is your job. That is how to get them to think, by presenting these scenarios and getting them to say, oh, that's true. I will be needing this. That's true. This will be required at a point in my life. That's your job. Your job is not to tell them, you don't want, okay, no problem. You didn't get them to think. How are they going to actually understand what they need to do, what is important and what is not? Thinking is like living. The moment you stop thinking, you start to die. Your brain cells just shut down. And then a child that was once very vibrant, very smart, now becomes like a foolish virgin, like an ode, the way Yorubas will say it, right? That's it, right? Ode. Like, and then you now start saying, can't you use your brain? They cannot use their brain. They were not taught to use their brains. You allow them have their way. You allow them do whatever they liked. And so they've gotten used to it. It's that simple. Always teach your children to be critical in thinking, not just in playing games. Meet a group of teenagers now and listen to them. They are talking about it. They're talking about football. They're talking about a big brother. They're talking about one movie. They're talking about that's all. They're talking about stars, celebrities. They don't need to think to do that. They don't need to think to talk. They ask them to analyze someone that has done something outstanding in the world. To just go like, "Ah, boring." What's that about? It's coming from us. It's a gap that we must close. Now, what's the third building block? Preparing strategies. Preparing by role playing the events that will come up where your teenagers need to say no. So, do you know that when you get to school, for example, everybody's going to say to you that in this school, in this class, this is what we do. After school, we don't go home, we stay here and we do this thing so that nobody catches us. And really, we've never been caught. Let your child role play. Let your child role play that, oh, everybody in this class is paired. Everybody has a boo or a babe. Everybody. How does a child say no? Like, no, I'm not going to have a boo, I'm not going to have a babe. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. So your child needs to start preparing. What do I do in that scenario? Okay, we're all in a group and something is being passed around. When it gets to me, what do I do? Everybody's clapping. Go, 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 go. This is the next person. Go. When it gets to you, what do you do? What are you ready for the reaction? How are you going to come out of that fix? There needs to be a preparation. Please don't tell your child, just say no now. Just don't allow. When it gets you, just drop it now. How? How are you just going to drop it? Because everybody going to go from go to flop like you. They're going to call them names. Hello, ma'am. Nice to see you here again. they're going to call them flop. Nobody wants to be called a flop. I remember at one of the events we held, I think it was um, the Easter camp. And we're talking about this issue of, saying no and everything. And one boy said he did something and, they wanted him to do something and he said he was not going to do that and they called him flop. That was the first time I heard of flop. So what is flop? Teenagers can be mean, sha. What kind of name is that? How do you call any human being a flop? But it's what it is. How are they going to handle name calling, shaming? How are they going to handle this kind of negative, attacks? How are they going to handle these laughters, the scorns, the mockery? How are they going to handle it? Prepare them so that when it happens, they are good. Let's go to the next building block. Dealing with their willingness to experience JOMO. JOMO is the joy of missing out. It is the opposite of FOMO, which is actually one of the mental health thingy. It's a disorder, if I might say. When you're always fearing, you're always having FOMO, the fear of missing out, I'm missing out, I'm missing out. This is one of the highest reasons why teenagers do stuff, bad stuff. The fear of missing out. There is the opposite. Prepare them to be willing to experience the joy of missing out. Being alone, being bored, and being fine. I'm bored, but I'm fine. I'm alone, but I'm fine. You don't just wake up into JOMO. You have to be willing to experience JOMO. I hope everybody got that right. JOMO, JOMO. It's the joy of missing out. Where you said no, you were not coming for this party, and then you are not crying. You're having an alternative plan. You are enjoying the alternative plan, and you don't show any sign of sadness, regret, etc. It's a joy. So yes, everybody has traveled for this event, and you're not ready to go because you know that it's not going to end well. They're going to do drugs, they're going to do drink, they're going to do stuff like that. And then you are around, you're in school, and yet you're so excited. It takes a lot of maturity, a lot of knowledge to get to JOMO. It is something you can prepare your teenagers with. It is a solid building block. Now, this is what it does. The advantage of JOMO, building JOMO in your children, your teenagers, is that after some time, they would stop asking or demanding bad things from you. JOMO is like an investment in your life, in your courage to say no life. It's an investment. You say no, and you are happy to say no, and you are feeling happy saying no after saying no. When you said no, before you said no, after some time, they will be like, don't worry, he'll be happy. Let's leave him alone. After some time, they will get it. It might not be easy. Tell your children, it might not be easy. That JOMO, you might just be smiling. After some time, you will get used to it and you truly start being happy, saying no. By the time they come back with gory stories, come back with all the risks they took, your child will even be your child will be happier. This will build that quotient, the JOMO quotient. It will be built. Your child starts becoming really excited, saying no to bad things. Not just because he had to, he's not compelled. She's not feeling compelled. She's just okay. She's just happy. One of my girls at the girls' home, she's in her first year in one of the private universities. She was a party girl, or she is a party girl. She loves parties. And I had to empathize with her because I knew where she was coming from. I knew that she was not going to go from here to here. She was not going to go from 100 to 0, from 0 to 100. So I had to be very patient with her. She sent a message. I said, "Ma, went for one party." I was like, okay, I would talk. She go, I said, "Ma, another party." After some time, she went for one. They brought out drugs. In fact, she took pictures of all the drugs, all the drinks, all the things that they did. She was just taking pictures, taking videos. She said that Tima, at the point, I just sensed that the angel of Ignite was in that party. I stood up and I left. I just said to myself that the angel of Ignite will come and report me to you at Tetima. That angel of Ignite that's always telling you things that we do behind your back. I just felt it and I left. He said, Tetima, till now, my friend that hosted the party is not talking to me again. I thought that you will be all right. Me, I'm talking to you. after that, after that, she said, Tetima, you know what? I'm not going again. I'm tired of the back and forth. I'm just not going to go again. If I know that a party is going to be like this, I won't just go. I'll just find a way to tell them that I am not coming so that I won't have to be dealing with this. Somebody's not happy that I left in the middle of the party. Somebody says I'm feeling too big. So I'm going to just deal with that by not going, and I'm going to be okay. Here we are. It's been 1 month. No bad parties. No rough parties of drugs. Before, my phone was always filled with different kinds of things. So I need us to understand that they need to, and I asked, I said, so did anything happen? As you didn't go now, did you die? No, in fact, I used that time, I did this, I did that. I said, let's go, girl. That's it. That's how we roll. But it took us time. We have been on this matter since August, though. Since August, September, October. This is like the third month. We're just coming around now. So please, very important, let them get used to enjoying missing out. I didn't come for that party, yes. I'm good. You guys are good. I'm good too. That kind of thing. The last building block, dealing with negative emotions. Help your children begin to deal with negative emotions, negative behavior, and negative responses. Like what? Fear, pride, stress. Sometimes it's because they have not given attention to themselves. They are stretched. They are stressed. So they just say yes. You look over, yes. Because they don't have that mental toughness to even say they know. So teach them, how do they deal with these things? And I'm afraid, therefore, I'll handle it this way. I am too proud to say no. This is especially for the boys. You know, you have this status, this thing that I can't be caught saying no. Let them deal with it. That pride, they need to deal with it. It it's false, it's negative. It's not self-pride I'm talking about. I'm talking about pride that is hinged on material possessions, status, etc. It is some of the reasons why teenagers can't say no. Because you just feel like, no, I can't fall hand. I can't fall my hand. I have to just meet up. Fake, fake, fake. So help them deal with these things. Help them deal with laziness. Sometimes it's this behavior of laziness that makes them unable to say no. You have not read, you have not done what is expected of you. When they bring advice, you will say yes now. Laziness is one of the reasons why people are doing Yahoo. Yes, it's laziness. Laziness is one of the reasons why people are involved in exam malpractice. When they now bring the chokes, as they call it in Nigeria, you can't say no because of laziness. So deal with it. Parents, I need us to sincerely analyze what our children and teenagers are dealing with. If you can boldly write it in the comment section, fine. If you can't, it's still fine. Ask yourself, what am I dealing with? My teenager, so lazy. My teenager, so proud. I don't know why parents don't know when their children are proud. You're supposed to know that this my son has a problem with pride. It can lead him into trouble. Pride, right? Everybody's bringing this amount. He can't say no, you go and bring me. Well, yes, you have the money, but the money is for a project. Your son will go and steal it. Your daughter will go and take it. Because pride will not let us say, I don't have and I cannot afford. On Sunday, we had a session on money, financial literacy for the girls in the girls' hall. This was ages the 6 to 8 class. And a girl said, I was surprised that age. What if I have 150 naira? I have 100 naira and I want to buy a shoe. Okay, it was 1,000 naira and I want to buy a shoe of 1,500. What do I do? And we said to her, you can't afford it. Don't buy it. You see, this desire to impress, desire to be among, it is the reason for not for lacking courage to say no. So deal with it. Stop defending. Your child has a problem focusing. Deal with it. Your child has a problem, living by core values. Deal with it. Don't be giving excuses. Actually, it's just the way what? Just the way what? All right. I hope that we can use these building blocks and start today. Usually I love to, bring tools that can help you begin immediately, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, today. Look at these 5 points I have mentioned and begin to work on it. Remember that you must focus on helping them focus on their bigger picture. That's my last word of counsel. The aim of this courage to say no is that you want your child to focus on the bigger picture. That means you must always bring the bigger picture before them. Your child is in school. What's the bigger picture? Primary school. Your child is in secondary school. What's the bigger picture? Your child is in university. What's the bigger picture? Always focus there. Don't be saying things like, I did not send you to that school to go and follow friends. I did not follow you there to go and be doing peer pressure. I did not follow you. That's not it. It's not efficient. It's not effective. What is effective is the bigger picture. Focus on the bigger picture. Focus on the life skills. Your child is complaining, I don't even know how to handle this thing. Just look at it. What skill do I need to build immediately? And you get on it. Don't start condemning. This is how I brought you up. Don't start threatening. Don't start complaining. Help them. Just say, okay, this skill, my child is lacking here. That's why she's having this challenge. Focus on helping them stay disciplined to life principles. Always take your eyes off the immediate happenings. Keep your eyes on the long-term goals, the principles that they desire, that they need. Keep your eyes focused there. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got value for your time. I hope you got some answers to some of the things that you've been struggling with. Because I know what it means to parent teenagers and preteens. I have 3, and I understand that it could be tough. Sometimes you feel like they are driving you up the wall. I get it. Sometimes you feel choked and you need to breathe. I'm sorry about that. I hope that these tools, these strategies I've shared, and everything you must have heard at least one thing to go back and begin to do. If you have a daughter, do not ask any question except, how can I register? And of course, it's showing on the screen already. It will be in your comment section, but just take down the number 0809 880 0339. Again, 080 988 00339. Just send the message immediately. You have a daughter 6 to 8 years, 9 to 13, 14 to 18. Your daughters are in higher institution, your daughters are in boarding house. We have a room for every one of them in the girls' hall. And by the way, we have the emotions mastery class. The fact that your daughters are going to be in the girls' hall, the fact that your daughters are your sons are going to mentoring academy and all that does not mean that they will not manage their emotions. This class is a 2 days class. It's a course how to manage your emotions, how to build mental toughness, how to bounce back, after negative experiences. Very important skills that your children need. That one is for both girls and boys. So feel free to register still with the same number already shared 309 8800 339. If you have any questions, any concerns, any issues, just send me a DM and I'll be there to answer them and put you through. For those of us that joined the webinar for girl parents last week, thank you so much. I hope you got value for your time. It was from 9 to 10, a few minutes past 10 p.m., and we had a really fabulous time. This week, we're coming again hot. Very, very relevant topic. We're talking about how to help our girls manage insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss any of these classes because this is something I have the grace for. This is something I've been called to do. Fear a man that carries grace, and fear one that carries grace and knowledge. Yes, fear us. We should be feared and we should be followed. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Same time, same place. Don't forget to invite your friends, tag, share, comment. God bless you and do enjoy the rest of your day and the month of November. Bye.